Hi YouTube， 大家好，我是 Eric。今天我要继续来玩那 for Broadcast。继上次我们因缘际会接下了电台的工作之后，不知道再来剧情会怎么发展呢 ？Let's find out。意外来信。OK， 收到了一封信，那我们来看一下它里面写什么。主角看来是叫做 Alex， 已经结婚有小孩。OK， 所以这边要选一些答案，看一下哦。新工作，适应工作环境吧。文件丢失。毕竟他有小孩有家人，那就回家陪家人吧。退休演讲的话，应该是要列出成就跟美好的回忆。闲暇之时，一个人放松。公民的幸福。OK， 那这样我们好像就完成了这一份调查，不知道你们会怎么选呢？可以在下方留言告诉我哦。OK， 有人来敲了我们家窗户呢，是老婆的妹妹，Sam 的妹妹。先进党好像就是昨天那个政客他们的党派。护照啊，护照感觉是很重要的东西，要给他吗？哇，这个时候介于法律跟亲情，要怎么选呢？选亲情吧。还是告诉老婆比较好。我们主角在电台工作，应该是不会用到护照。不过又好像是违法的事情，怎么办呢？哇，真难做人。给他吧。感觉那个选项就是不断的引导，最后主角还是会把护照给他的妹妹。 OK， 那这个事件就这么结束了。后果，说不定刚刚的选择会影响这一集的发展，也不一定。但是这我就不知道了。有玩过的人可以在下面留言哦。
First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
At least 4 plugs. Vision mixer, VHS rack, speakers, sound desk. Fan， 这应该是电风扇，反正就都给它打开吧。OK, let's go. 广告，放广告。他说我的行为会造成影响，会影响结局的样子。玩具广告，既然都贴了标签，就是你啦。这个应该是政党宣传，护肤霜，戏剧类的，节庆类的。其他的应该都没什么影响。政党宣传，那个政党形象感觉没有很好，先放别的。
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really
所以我们现在可以选择要让观众看到什么。
Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine, and you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So, like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
One of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet?
所以现在我们有权决定
Yeah, the one
公众人物的形象。
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5,
But
4,
before all that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Night
Good evening.
News.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Good evening. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. We ask exactly tonight. I'll be discussing what the new future may hold.
这个形象看起来比较好一点。
With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in line to
感觉蛮厉害的。
In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehouse.
Sophia 她那个玩具好像就是我们第一个广告的要宣传的玩具。
Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Horsborg and Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together, like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsley is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artist Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two?
其实同时要听那个声音还蛮混乱的。
Reaver's bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about advances first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant,
还
sterile,
推荐他的书啊。
That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will
Bit
respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most destructive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research in the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates.
有一本书
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time.
很激动。
What does the future look like to you, Alan?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Night of News.
1 minute back.
差点忘记切广告。
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too.
Absolutely fucking fine, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
为什么他的电话可以直接打进来？
I don't know what she meant by that.
And his incredible real action eyes.
哦，这玩具也太恐怖了吧！
It's no wonder Mr. Snugglehugs is the gift your child wants. This
Mr. Snuggle，
That's right, little one. You don't want to be left
抱抱先生。好恐怖哦！这种玩具你们会买吗？
10 seconds, everybody.
If that sticks, I'll just...
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
哎，这律师跟他老婆是发生什么事情
I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on.
啊？
The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just
差点没跟上。
Jeremy Thompson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
Hello, Mr.
We
Donaldson.
need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving? Can I have a moment to
Yes,
tell my husband I'm leaving?
totally understand. Yes. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. By Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective
哦，他们在吵架
on。nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system?
待会再来看他们到底在吵什
I'm
么。
sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or cosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little
他在衣橱里面藏个这个。
As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back
他
in your
把
box, Clive. Back in
道
your
德
box.
沦丧
Stevie,
怪
I'm
到
very
移
good
民
to
身上。
help with this.
Sorry, darling, I was saying the magic.
天哪！
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Dawson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Look, back in your dinner space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this. Hold on just a moment.
哇，表面光鲜亮丽，私底下也是另一
Clive,
副
I'm
样
not
子。
having this again. Clive, I'm not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a
这个新闻也太不专业了吧
We end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A minus, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a SWAT. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony. Many happy
Cheers,
returns,
Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing
Everybody else
that.
does.
Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
脏话很多哎。
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris. And Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. One sec, love. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh.
哇，怎么那么多脏？这么多脏话？
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, las bolitas!
Wow.
No, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Why bother
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip, when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
把广告声音量调低。
7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it.
10 seconds, everybody.
Judication.
Open on Megan, camera 2.
Said so.
And in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome, Black. I'm I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one.
讲话很讨厌。
And Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre.
Yeah, thanks,
It's
Steve.
one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle believed.
为什么在这边吵架？
All these problem schools and the poor kids see us. They say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences. And they touch
Megan 的表情又是
Suppose with a surname like
别
Algebra,
攻
there's
上。
really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song
接不下去
and joy into people's lives.
Megan 接不下去了。
The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. Put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
他怎么只会讲一句话
Have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. Get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it. That way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago, a letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin.
How did you react?
But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist. Oh heavens no!
Gary the Fist.
Going somewhere, little first year.
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. It's so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck. Coach.
Just keep going for fuck's sake.
Right.
Just keep going for
Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. Now.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
My arm's free, coach. Who are you to stand up to me? I, Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team.
Yeah.
And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
哦，他刚刚说的跟节奏其实是讲这个。还蛮难的，要照节奏切。
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner, woman?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now.
Make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship. Yes.
接着有点乱七八糟。
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
There must be something in the world. I don't want to upset you, but
哎，结束了。
the world. They're gonna take your poor sweet grandma. And I don't mean to.
哎，表现不错哦，负债累累。有几段我还蛮想看一下的，稍微看一下。Ellen James 访谈。
All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors.
他们在吵架。
Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
哦，好呛。
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
真的听不懂。啊，这还蛮有趣的。下一个嘞。
I'm just saying.
你看一下他待会跟他老婆在吵什么。
Are you going to realize?
I'm sure we all do.
再回去一点点。
Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us.
I cannot believe you, Ellen. I would have expected this from your sister, but not from you.
When are you going to realize I'm not her, Greg?
Well, trust me,
Oh,
between the
他跟他
drinking and
姐
the arse, I'm very aware.
也有关系哦。哦，好，再来待会就是这边。
Or Kosh.
So you feel the street.
看一下切掉之后他们讲什么。
Now, I booked your mother in for a hearing test.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Now, how's your IBS been?
Bob Peel there,
Sí.
really locking down the police's position on morality for us.
Look, I spoke to Mallory at the Bridge Club.
No, naughty boy!
She says the hall is absolutely fine for Sunday.
Oh, marvellous. Now, I booked your mother in for a hearing test.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Now, how's your IBS been?
没什么特别的。
His birthday. Many.
所以就看他们后面办 party 的时候。
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we. Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we were literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought. After the break, Megan will be live to We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Piss off.
Smooth, incisive journalism.
I can have you fired.
You'd miss my charm.
哈哈哈，这主播压力很大。要在这种情况下保持专业，我看有点难度。
Well, where is he?
In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's alright, I've got this.
I'm sure he's on his way.
Come on, it's welcome
主播
back.
跑
How
了
can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody.
Welcome back. Megan Wolf.
We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton.
等下看他们表演的那段。
But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we...
这里就是刚刚表演，都看过了。我们来看看表演结束的时候，在后台讲了什么。
Flats out of my studio.
Oh, that was brilliant!
再一点点。
Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
这有没有听
I
过？
believe that was art.
没办法静音。
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone
听不
please
到。
get these twats out of my studio.
哈 ，OK。好了，那今天这一集就到这里了。如果你喜欢这个频道，然后也希望继续拍下去的话，帮我按个赞、追踪、分享，谢谢啦，下次再见，拜拜。